I gave you fair warning. Beware, beware, beware.
What's up? This is Danny Swift Garcia. Shout out to Ring King TV, man. Salute. Yeah, but they checking.
Okay,
Hi, Danny. How you doing? How you doing?
How are you?
Doing? Good?
Champs here.
First question.
Yeah, Danny, you fight.
Why did you find the toughest fight of your career so easy? And I'm reversing that because you handle them like an amateur. They got to know what to do. You shoe shine them 3 or 4 times. He was confused. He couldn't fight you in the clinches. What turned all his aura about him being so tough?
Hard work. You know, I had a good training camp. I had good sparring partners. But I felt like I had the tougher fight. So even though I'm a younger fighter, I had better, more experience than him in championship fights, and I fought good opposition before. So I think that played a big part. And you know, just the hard work and the confidence.
Danny, you know, the fight, I think, solidified you as one of the elite fighters in the game. But for a long time, people talked about the fact that having your father in the corner, he was a detriment. I think this fight validated you as an elite fighter and him as a hell of a trainer.
Yeah, no doubt. We always been elite since the amateurs. We was top amateurs. We always knew we were top pros. And, you know, we feed off each other's energy. And we just good chemistry. We know how to win.
Andrew, you made your adjustments during the fight. Can you talk about that? I mean, besides the smack, but you made adjustments during the fight, and just, you know, like I said, it showed both of you guys up.
No, exactly, because that was the game plan. The game plan was to destroy Matiz. I mean, Matiz never fought a level of fighter like Danny. I mean, he was the underdog on people's eyes, but we knew he was the champion. And we knew Matiz never fought nobody like Danny, ever. That was the first guy he ever had to step it up with Danny, with a 32 fights he had. He never stepped it up with people like Danny. You know, we knew the game plan was to 2 or 3 shots and dominate, step to the side, because we knew Matiz was going to come. It depended on power, but people got in his head with that. So he came with the mentality. They didn't have an A and a B. They only had an A. All they had in their mind was knock Danny out. They looked at Danny, they was going to come in and knock him out, and that was the end of the world. He was fighting the champ of the world. So, you know, the world got shocked. I wasn't shocked. I mean, the thing is that they always underestimated Danny since he was young. I don't know why, and myself, but it's not about me, it's about the champ.
Angel, now as we all know with the Ring Magazine situation with them, where your brother over here has not been on the cover, has they even hollered at you at this time though? You know what I mean? They call you up saying you gonna be on that mag, anything like that?
I think they called you.
Yeah, they called me, but it wasn't about the magazine. It was just the point. You know, they put a lot of fighters on there. It doesn't matter. Cause you know, it could be anybody. They did it at the time when the fight was coming. No, it didn't matter because they came at the time.
I'm not mad that they didn't put me on the cover. Yeah. Because I don't care. I don't care. But it was just the timing of the fight.
Exactly, that time.
They're gonna put him on there the month before I fight, and I'm the Ring Magazine champion.
And you've been doubted constantly with each of your recent fights. Does that energize you? And if it does, what's gonna happen when they stop doubting you?
No, I was just like, fights like that just give me, fights of that magnitude, give me that extra push in that, because I always work hard, but it's just that extra, it's in my, you know, in my soul, and it brings out the best in me, them kind of fights. So it's not about being the underdog or the guy who's picked to win. It's just fights of that magnitude bring the best out of me.
You're one of the names among many who mentioned as a possible Floyd opponent. What does that mean to you?
That means a lot.
What comment do you have on that?
That means a lot. You know, Floyd's been a champion for 17 years. I've been a champion for 2 years. So, you know, just for people to put my name in the same category as him as being a potential, you know, fight with him, it means a lot. It's because I'm making noise in the boxing.
Now, Danny, as you know,
I'm sorry, it seems kind of ironic that Khan is being brought now with the next time. There's a lot of Khan. I think you should be fighting.
You know, I feel like,
you know, there's no doubt in my mind now.
Yeah, you're right.
Wasn't down.
Exactly. No, you're right.
There's no doubt in my mind now.
Exactly.
You can make it happen, beat him. Every time you fought before, after Matisse fight, I was looking at Paulie. Even Paulie said on TV, he said, I don't know how, wasn't putting you down, he said, I don't know how he's going to beat him. I can take a punch and the way he came at him. And I saw my son though, he says, he's going to do it. And he did do it. So with Floyd, now I have no doubt.
But that's a year away. As we all know, Floyd is not trying to fight until next year. And I know you love to stay active. You got all these fights all the time. Now, you're in a junior welterweight champion. Are you thinking, I mean, there's pretty much no one in the junior welterweight division right now that can't even think of touching you. Are you thinking moving up to the welterweight division or anything?
You know, I'm in a position right now as being the champion. Like, I definitely prove myself at 140. Where I could fight the fights I want to fight at 140 now. But it's really not a lot of fights in that weight class for me. But it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna be a little tough decision because I fought hard for them belts. I just don't want to let nobody else fight for a vacant belt. But you know, I'm getting to that point. Maybe I will move up, maybe I won't. But if anything, I'll do one more at 140.
So is there anyone on your radar in that weight class?
At 140?
Since you call the shots.
Is there anyone that you want to step in there with?
They were talking about a rematch.
I just let them.
Is that possible?
I'm not really interested in the rematch because
You think he deserves a rematch?
No, he got destroyed.
He wasn't a champion.
Exactly, he the champion.
Danny,
The thing is this, the only reason, I'm sorry. The only reason Morales got a rematch because Morales underestimated Danny. He thought he was gonna go in there, play with Danny, and destroy Danny, and call himself Professor Morales. The only reason we gave Morales a rematch because Morales underestimated Danny, and I wanted to show the world that Danny went the distance with Morales because Danny gave him that little respect, and I wanted Danny to go in there and just take him out quick.
Okay.
So that was the plan, the second fight. Exactly. So he gave him the opportunity to become champion, so he deserved the rematch. That's the only reason. We wasn't trying to be selfish.
Danny, in Vegas, I hate to take credit, but I did pick you to win, and a lot of the media was picking you to lose, you know what I mean? And I called it just like it, you know, it happened. But during the weigh-in, was that scale really messed up, or you know, was you a half a pound over? Are you struggling to make 140? I mean, I interviewed in Philly a couple of weeks before the fight, and you said if you beat Matisse, you cleaned up the weight division, so it don't make sense to stay at 140. So I mean, the next best thing is to move to 47. So is there a doubt, or is that what you're really going to do for your next fight?
As far as the scale situation,
rocking.
It was a lot of people in the front,
rocking back and forth.
And it kept going up. So I was like, and then I was like, oh, everybody backed up, and then I got on the scale.
Right there.
Because I woke up at 140. So I woke up in the morning, I was 140, and then usually by the time I get to the weigh-in, I'm under 140. So when it went up, I was like, oh man, like
we underestimated the skill, like we knew it was wrong because we looked and it was rocking back and forth.
When the fight did you say to yourself, you know, I got this?
Now, that was the game plan. He's a strong puncher, so we wasn't gonna go in there and be aggressive. We were gonna let him wear down a little bit.
Take him down on the under.
I told him I'm gonna give him the first couple rounds. You know, it might be 3-2, 5 rounds him.
You'll feel him out.
When did you realize that? Okay,
and then take him
what round did you say? Okay, I got this.
At one point of the fight, I think it was about the 4th round on down. It was just like his punches seemed slow to me, and it was just like everything he threw, I was able to just counter or just beat him to the punch because that's what I was doing all night. I was just beating him to the punch. And I was moving.
Were you surprised that, I mean, obviously they built him up to be this vicious?
No, I don't take no credit away from him. He is who he is, and he did what he did. Remember that?
Exactly.
You can't take none of that away from me just because I beat him. I mean, like, but he's a strong fighter, but like I said before, I'm a different level than him.
You said on that note, Danny.
Yeah, he's strong. He put a couple good shots in the body.
So on that note, Floyd, you fought on the undercard of a major event, the biggest grossing pay-per-view event of all time. How has that changed you with fights going forward now? Has that set the scale for you to be on a different level compared to your previous fights?
You know, we have to see, but as far as exposure, like, everywhere I go now, people know who I am. You know, I was walking around New York, everybody knew I can't walk in the mall no more in Philly, so it's just like, you know, my life changed, like, overnight. So I'm just blessed, man. It's just, I'm ready to do bigger and better things.
You talked about Philly. Can you talk about, you said, you know, you're Philadelphia fighter. We're talking Frazier. We're talking Georgie Benton, Vinny Brisk. Can you talk about how important that was in your victory and how you represented Philly, what that meant to you?
Oh, man, it's very important to me because, you know, I'm born and raised in Philadelphia. My parents were born in Puerto Rico, so I'm a Puerto Rican kid from Philadelphia. Not only being you know, I'm very proud to be from Philadelphia, but I'm also proud that I'm the first Latino world boxing champion out of Philadelphia.
No doubt.
And when I go to my gym every day, it's just like all these Latino kids boxing and they looking good. I'm like, man, when I was coming up, I didn't get no Latino fighters. So it's just like you see young Latino fighters fighting and being sharp, and they come to me, and I'm proud, man. I'm just proud, you know, they got motivation.
Do you have a favorite Philly fighter?
Do I have a favorite Philly fighter?
History, you know.
Well, you know, a lot of, like Bernard, he's more my era. Like guys before that, I was like, you know,
Too young.
Too young, yeah.
Who did you watch growing up? Who did you watch growing up?
Yeah.
How have you found Fame helps give back to the community? And you talked about young Philly fighters. How have you helped them? How have you helped?
Oh yeah, no doubt. I built a gym in my own neighborhood. My Garcia boxing gym's where I grew up. It's always in my neighborhood. All the kids from my own neighborhood come to the gym every day. You know, I built a barber shop there. My dad got a small mechanic shop, detail shop in where I grew up. So not only are we helping the community with the boxing gym, we are bringing jobs to the neighborhood and helping other people. And people thank me every day for that.
Before the 14th, I read somewhere that Adrian Broner was saying that my boy Garcia is going to take out Matisse. Does that mean you guys are close enough friends where you would consider fighting him?
At the end of the day, you know, it's a business. So
The money's right.
Any fight could be made. But as far as us fighting anytime soon, I don't think it will make any sense because we're still building to that.
Good question.
It would be underwatched.
Understand something you want to make it public. He doesn't have to fight something. Maybe he might not want to fight you.
No, Broner's cool, dude.
But that is that fight going down with Adrian Broner and Madonna. How you see it?
It's gonna be a good fight because Madonna, man, he comes to fight, but Broner, he's got to use his skills, and beating him, he just can't be flat-footed. And then I think he win the fight pretty easy if he doesn't stand in front of him. He got to use his skills.
And your good friend Gabby Rosado, he's fighting
Quillen.
Yes, sir. How you see that going down?
That's another good fight actually. Gabi's known as the tough fighter, but he has.
I gave you fair warning, beware, beware, beware.